And Caleb, thanks so much for joining us. I'm glad to catch up with you. I don't know if we've talked since you committed. So it's been, I know we've occasionally, exchanged some messages here and there, but haven't really chatted with you. How have you been? How the last, I don't know, 6 months been for you?
It's been good. It's been a real journey, a real grind, with the commitment that it takes to be successful at Creekside. It's been the season treated me well. My time has treated me well over these past 6 months since I've committed to Pittsburgh.
We keep an eye on you guys and see how you're doing. All the guys that are committed to Pitt, we watch all your seasons, and last year 13-2, right? This past fall.
Yeah.
Of course, one of those two came in the final game, and that's a
Yeah.
tough way to go. Tell us about your senior season and just how it went for you.
Um, my senior season was the word that I'll use to describe it as a whole is extremely developmental. You know, I had put together me and our team. We had put together a great 3 years, to where it set us up to understand the expectations for the whole class of 24 on our team, and actually getting in the season and doing the things that we were able to do. Traveling to play a team like Mater Dei, seeing that caliber of football, coming back home, winning a national stage game against St. Peter's Prep as we did. Um, just the different work ethic. There were so many things that we did this year that really developed a lot of kids on the team, developed the program as a whole, and definitely helped develop me. My senior season was amazing. You know, like I said, outside of Mater Dei in that very last game, uh, we won all our games with state. It wasn't the outcome that we
Mhm.
wanted, of course,
Right.
but still got a lot from it. Was still a very valuable game. Was still a very extremely valuable season. And that's something that all of the kids and the all of our players in the class of 2024 can get on the same page with. That's something that we all agree on.
Sure. It's interesting you mentioned that Mater Dei game, and you went to California for that. I mean, teams don't usually travel Georgia to California. I mean, it was like week 3, and I mean the game didn't go very well for you. You guys lost
Mhm.
62-0. So the experience of traveling like that with your team and then having a loss like that. I mean, how did that impact you? How did that impact you guys and kind of propel you into the rest of the season?
um Something that Coach Dixon does every year, which I think is great for any team. He schedules our biggest stages early on in the season as he can. If
Hmm.
you check the past 3 years, our earliest games have been Rome. 2 years ago, we played Grayson at the Finish State Championships. Last year, we played one of the top teams from Chicago. And this year with Mater Dei and St. Peter's Prep,
Hmm.
um, it's a yearly thing that he tries to get those big games going early, to really see what the team is made of, to really set the standard high, because the expectation every year in region is to go undefeated. We run our region pretty well, and it's real easy to get comfortable, or it's real easy to get relaxed going through region, winning all those games. But when you started off with a game like Mater Dei, with the game like St. Peter's Prep, with the game like going against defending state championship team as we did 2 years ago, it puts a different chip on our shoulder, no matter the outcome of the game. We had won 3 of them, and Mater Dei was the national stage game that we lost. But like I said, it does allow us to carry that chip on our shoulder throughout the season, because we see what it's like to face those teams that everybody thinks are just as good as us or better. Wasn't it wasn't too many people in Georgia. It wasn't too many people in California that thought that we would go out there and compete. And the game went how it did, but we did get out there and we played our hardest, and that really was able to carry us far when it came to our region play, when it came to all the other games that followed off down the line.
Right. Now, where did you line up for Creekside? You like guard, tackle? Where were you playing this year?
Both this year, but it was mostly left tackle.
Oh, okay. Okay. How big are
Mm-hmm.
you now? What's
It
your height
was
and weight?
Right now I'm standing maybe 6'3". I think last time I weighed in I was 287.
Okay. Okay. And the Pitt coaches like you as an interior guy? Do they like you playing tackle?
Yeah, definitely guard or center.
Okay. That's what I thought from the summer when we had talked before, and then I thought you were right around that 6'3"
Mhm,
range, but I wasn't sure
mhm.
what you've heard. Now, you committed over the summer, but we all know that when guys commit to schools, that doesn't necessarily mean the recruitment's over for other schools.
Yeah.
Other schools are going to keep.
Mhm.
So, what are the last 6 months? Because you committed early. I mean, you committed in June. Um, I'm guessing other schools didn't back off, right? Was it still pretty constant communication from other schools trying to hit you up throughout the last 6 months?
No, many of them did. The schools that did stay on me were Georgia Tech, of course, Coach Jeep Wade, who he stayed on me. I appreciated everything that he had done throughout my recruitment process. But we continued to talk. He continued to give me support and all that I did, just as he did with BJ Williams, who went up
Mhm.
there. He gave me the same story. He told us that we were both great kids. But if Georgia Tech what didn't end up being a school for us, that Georgia Tech would continue to be a great school, and we would continue to be great athletes wherever it was we went. So Georgia Tech and Coach Jeep Wade, him supporting me, Coach Jake Thornton at Auburn, um, he continued to reach out to me and just support. Um, Other than that, it was some coaches and like graphics on Twitter and things of that
Right.
nature, but continued to stay connected to me were uh those two. But it was pretty easy to stay on track, stay committed to Pitt.
So it was really just guys that you had kind of a personal relationship with. They weren't just trying to pressure you off your
Yeah,
commitment. It was you had that relationship and it just kind of continued. That makes sense. Makes
yes,
sense.
sir.
What you said it was kind of easy to stay committed to Pitt. What was it? I mean, what really drew you to Pitt and what made it so easy for you just to not even think about other schools?
Yeah. My answer to this question is the same all the time. And, it's really there was no compromises. There was nothing that I had. There was no pros and cons list. It was, hey, if I go to Pitt, I get this, but I don't get this. They'll do good in this, but I don't know about this. All the checklist that me and my family had put together, the academics, the way that they treat their players, the success of their players, the success of their team, uh, coaching staff, life skills and life support outside of football. What do the players get as students, or what do they get as young men? All of those things, they hit the nail on the head. They matched up. Pitt was able to, like I said, go down the checklist and really exceed all our expectations when it came to us picking a school. So it was really the question of, why not? And we had every reason to make Pitt home.
Right. What I'm sure I know you didn't make it up for any of their games this season, but I'm sure you kept an eye on them. Obviously, they didn't have the year that they were hoping for with a 3-9 record. I mean, what did you observe as you kind of watched them, or what were the coaches telling you about how the season was going? Because I know you kept in touch with those guys throughout the year. What did they tell you, and what were your thoughts on Pitt's season?
We like you said, they were very clear about the internal problems that was going on with the team that led to them not having the season they wanted it to be. But the other side of that was that for the past 10 years, Pitt has been a powerhouse, especially in the ACC conference, have been successful record teams, with that being the expectation next year with the new changes that they've made. Um, with us bringing in an OC, we got good linemen coming back. I think we talked about losing two, but there was a guard I think that got hurt in summer camp that's
Hmm.
back. BJ's up there starting. Some of the newer guys that had to step up to the plate and play offensive line with those older guys being gone. Now they have their experience. Um, and they've been very clear on the expectation is to get back to what Pitt's used to the powerhouse team that Pitt usually is. And like I said, I'm excited to be a part of it.
Have you gotten a chance to talk to the new OC yet, or have you mostly just been with Coach Narduzzi and Coach Borbely and
Yes,
those guys?
coach. When I did my home visit, we actually had a conversation on the phone,
Oh.
and it went well. It went great. I got to meet him. We were on FaceTime, face to face, just like this. I talked to him. He told me he was excited for me to get up there. He told me he had watched my tape, uh, and loved it. And yeah, that's definitely something that I'm looking forward to getting up there and being a part of.
What what did you think when you saw BJ get out there? I don't know if you heard ahead of time that he was going to be starting, but I mean, a freshman starting on the offensive line is pretty unique. That doesn't always happen. What did you think when
Yeah.
you saw that?
Um, Creekside's expectation was that BJ was going to go up there and dominate at anything that he did. Because BJ is one of the best linemen to have ever walked through Creekside, and he sets the standard high from himself. As quiet as he is, or as laid back as he may seem, he's one of the most hardest working people that I've ever been around, and he actually was a great addition to me making my choice to be in that Pitt because my junior year it was actually BJ who I tried to model myself after. Everything that I did, if BJ was doing it good, then I wanted to do it better. You know what I'm saying? If BJ was making his sprints in 10 seconds, I wanted to make mine in 9. You know what I'm saying? And just for him to be who he was here and take it up the Pit and had an opportunity to start and do as good as he did, um, I would say it's no surprise because that I knew that was the expectation um for us, for as in, the Creekside offensive lineman that we still had here, watching his success, especially with how early he was able to go up there, and him giving me feedback of how well it was going, uh, his progress in the weight room, his progress on the field. It was amazing to watch. But like I said, we were happy that he started, but it wasn't a big surprise. I
Right.
was they great how he always is.
Right. If there was a guy to do it, you figured he'd be the one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like you mentioned, he got up there in January last year. I forget when are you enrolling in January or are you going to wait until June?
My enrollment, I'll be up there in I think the middle of June, something
Okay.
like June 16th.
Okay. Cool. What are you looking forward to most about getting up there? I mean, what are you most anticipating about Pitt, about college football, about college life? I mean, what are you looking
Yeah,
forward to most about that?
I mean, talking to Rashad and talking to BJ and talking to any of my friends who've graduated and been able to actually get on a college football field. My question has really been the transition. You know what I'm saying? We were all great high school athletes. What's the transition once you go up that level? And I kind of get the same thing. The game is much faster. You really have slim room for mistakes.
Hmm.
I've heard all that, and I'm always one to go face a challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like I told uh Coach Collins during my home visit, I'm Freeside has allowed me to be real. You put something on my plate, I'm gonna go at it. You know what I'm saying? You put something in front of me, if I can't find a way, I'm gonna make a way. And that's something that I stand on. That's something that Creekside has really instilled in all of our players, especially the offensive line. Um, BJ well enough. That's something that he stands on, and it's. I feel like it's a fit for me. I really want to go up there and be able to experience everything that I've heard from my friends and family firsthand. That's one of the most exciting things because you can listen to the good stories, the bad stories, but actually, it come in time for me to go see it with my own eyes, for me to feel the experience firsthand. That's something that I'm real excited about, something that I'm actually looking forward to.
For sure. And then I guess the last thing, I mean, do you play anything in the spring? You do wrestling, track, basketball, anything like that?
Both wrestling and
Wrestling and
track.
track? Okay.
I was planning on throwing either the shot put or discus,
Mm,
and at least working out with the wrestling team.
right.
Um, just getting every offensive lineman who knows how to wrestle is has great leverage, better at what they do. So even if I didn't make it any meets, then that at least with my body for body maintenance, that's what me and my coaches already have me. Uh, what we already planned for me to be doing in the springtime.
Okay. Well, I'm curious now. One of the other offensive linemen in the class that's going to Pitt, Adham Abaraya from
Mm-hmm.
Eastern PA. Now he's wrestling. He's a wrestler. He's like 285, so he's a heavyweight. But part of his warm up is he walks on his hands. Can you walk on
Mm-hmm.
your hands, Caleb? Can you do a handstand and walk on your hands? I'm curious about
Guess
this because I was shocked when I saw him do this. I was like, wait, is this what all heavyweight wrestlers can do? I don't think so, but can you do that?
I guess we'll find out soon, man. I guess I when I try.
I'll have this. I tweeted a picture of it because I found a picture online and I was like, wait, look at this guy at 285 walking on his hands. So
Yeah.
I'll send you the photo and see you can start working on it. See if you guys can have a
Uh-huh.
race or something on your hands.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Sounds
Yes,
good.
sir.
All right. All right, Caleb. Well, hey man, I really appreciate it. Thanks for your time. Congratulations on signing and a great senior season, a great career. And we will see you when you get up to Pittsburgh in June.
Yes, sir.